This changes everything for the Toronto Blue Jays and ahead of what's going to be the first ALDS in almost a decade for this Toronto Blue Jays team. We have some huge updates that have dropped surrounding Bo Bichette that has fans not only concerned, but these updates are very intriguing. I want to break down exactly what those are. But not only that, break down many comments from the players and management following what was an incredible display yesterday and their first banner for the ALDS since 2016. Ton of updates to go over ahead of what's going to be a crazy Saturday when the ALDS begins against one of the Red Sox or the Yankees. I would guess the Yankees, but a ton to go over. Before we get into it all, though, if you're a part of that percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, your guys' support has been absolutely unbelievable all season long. Hopefully, you guys can continue supporting into the playoffs. You guys have been absolute beasts. Folks, let's dive right into it. Now, heading into Saturday, the biggest storyline is going to be Bo Bichette. What is his health looking like? We have a bit of an intriguing update to dive into. Now, following yesterday's ALDS win, I guess the win against the Rays that clinched on the ALDS and the AL East ultimately, Hazel May was talking with Bo Bichette, and he was talking about, how good this team was, and he said they're easy to root for, but he also said, I'm excited to watch them go do their thing. This is super. I don't want to read too far into it, but it had people pretty concerned. Of course, I bring up any piece of news that comes out here. I'll let you guys kind of figure out what you want to take from it. But he did say it's the best. I was watching it live. It's the best group he's been a part of, and he's excited to go watch them do their thing. Now, does this mean that he's not going to be available in the playoffs at all? Does this mean that he's not going to be available in the ALDS? Was this just a nothing burger, and he's just saying this because it came up, and then, of course, he's still going to be available for the ALDS? That's where things get a little bit interesting. Now, again, I don't want to dive too far into it, but we also got a further update from Bo Bichette himself after a lot of these shenanigans, about 2 hours after. And he said, I don't have a date, but I will be doing everything that I possibly can to get back. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. It's a little bit concerning. Now, you can take this and do what you will with it. I don't think it really matters too much. Yes, a little bit concerning on the surface, but it is what it is, right? Bo Bichette's a pretty quiet, reserved guy. However, him saying that he doesn't have a date, guys, we are, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days away from the ALDS, and he still doesn't have a date. I'm not entirely convinced that Bo's going to be ready for day one of the ALDS. Now, prior to yesterday's game, we had another report from Schneider. He came out and basically said there's no world he'll be available basically for the wildcard series. Luckily, that was before yesterday's game. It didn't matter. But he said the goal is and hopeful to be available at some point during the ALDS and the start of it ideally. I'm suspecting game 3 or 4, maybe 5, like the last game, if it gets there for Bo Bichette. This isn't as encouraging as I was expecting. We know he started hitting off a tee and started taking some, I think, live BP, or at least he started swinging a bat. I don't think it's live BP, but started swinging a bat like a week ago. Clearly, the progress isn't as far as he's wanted to get along. And folks, this truly does change everything for this team. This is the difference between having, one of the best hitters in baseball. He finished second in the AL. I think second in the MLB in hits, or at least the AL in hits, despite missing a ton of time. They need him in order to win a World Series. Do they need him in order to win the ALDS? No. I think this team can, pull things off. They've done it time and time again. I'm fully confident in guys like Addison Barger, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., all these guys stepping up in his absence. And I know you're probably saying, Nick, they haven't stepped up for the past couple of weeks since Bo Bichette went out, like a month ago, 20 days ago, whatever it was, 20 games ago. Hey, they need the off day. And I think or the off rest, the off time. And they have about a week off here. I think Vladdy's going to come back rocking. I think, Varsho's going to come and be an absolute beast. And of course, Addison Barger. But yeah, latest update on Bo Bichette. Said that, take with this what you will, but he doesn't have a date, which is a little bit scary. And I really, really hope that they're going to be able to get him back at some point, because it would suck for this season to end on a note where they don't have their full lineup out there. Santander's back, which is shocking in itself, but Bo Bichette's the big one. And if only that slot in New York didn't happen, but it is what it is. We take an AL East division title all day long. Hopefully Bo will be available. Let me know down below on a scale of 1 to 10 your concern level here. Bo is an absolute freak when it comes to hitting baseballs. He's probably the best pure hitter in MLB and probably the best pure hitter we've seen in a while for a Blue Jays guy who dressed up in a Blue Jays uniform. But yeah, that'll wrap up that part. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Let's dive into some more things now. We have some comments. We have some kind of laying out what this week is going to be and what it's going to entail. Starting Tuesday, the Yankees and the Red Sox will play at Yankee Stadium for the right to travel to Toronto and play the Blue Jays in the ALDS next weekend. Blue Jays have never played the Yankees or Red Sox in the playoffs before. That'll change starting Saturday. So not only is there going to be some MLB history here, this is pretty important. Now, the brackets, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, they did shape up to be Yankees, Red Sox. And if we look back at, a few weeks ago when I was we were hypothetically looking at this, right? The playoff brackets and things like that. This is perfect, right? You're assuming it's Crochet versus Freed, two lefties starting tomorrow. You need this series to go 3 games because then you push everybody else back. They're going to potentially use multiple starters in game 3 if it gets to that point, or game 2 if you're on the verge of elimination. Ideally here for me, Red Sox win in 3. That would be ideal for me. I think the Red Sox are the worst team. The Yankees got really hot. Yes, the Red Sox have Crochet, but I think the Jays can take care of that. I think he's hittable. Yes, he carved the Jays there recently, but I think that he's hittable. Now, at the same time, I think everybody in the Yankees pitching staff is also hittable. They need to take care of business. If they go at each other and just start, beating each other up 15 innings a game, it would be perfect. And that's what we can do. We can watch and just sit back and relax, which is absolutely ideal. And speaking more about that, John Schneider spoke about it. Our goal every year is to win the division. We put ourselves in a position to do that. It starts with the guys in the clubhouse. It starts with guys believing. And the post-AL East win celebrations were absolutely electric. Like, everyone was vibing. Everyone was so happy for each other. I truly believe this team is different. Big conversations going to be had. Bichette being injured and the roster. Who's going to make it? Who's not? Like Mason Flaherty, you probably would have asked me a couple weeks ago or even a week ago. If he would have made it, I would have said no. Now, back-to-back gutsy performances, winning them both games, arguably. I think you got to put him in there. We'll have a video coming in that probably tomorrow for you all. And here's how things shape up. Toronto's hosting the winner of Boston, New York. Seattle hosting the winner of Detroit, Cleveland. Milwaukee, Padres, Cubs. And, of course, Philly with Cincinnati and the LA Dodgers. Of note here, the Mets didn't get in. And all those fans out there in the offseason, I saw them on Twitter. I was at it in a few of them. The Mets fans begging and saying that Vladdy's going to be coming to New York. They're going to have a super team. The Jays will miss the playoffs. The Mets missed the playoffs. Vladdy extended. The Jays won the AL East. Who has it better, folks, than us? Who has it worse than Mets fans? Not many people right now. And again, a lot of this is going to come down to, will Bichette be available? Coming off of the best year of his career, despite missing a fair amount of time, we need this guy back to win the MLB World Series. I truly believe that. Now, on the flip side of things, we also have guys like George Springer, who, looking at the AL here, George finished with a 166 WRC plus, higher than Cal Raleigh, which is absolutely hilarious because, of course, the MVP is between Judge and Raleigh. There's a bunch of different arguments from both sides. I think probably, my guess is Judge wins it. But again, Raleigh's a catcher, hit 60 home runs, absolutely ludicrous, something we're probably never going to see again, or at least for a very long time. Whereas Judge is an absolute freak, carried the Yankees to 8 straight wins. Didn't matter, though, which is hilarious there. Let me know down below who your AL MVP is. George Springer should get at least a few votes. Maybe not first for place votes, but somewhere in there. Top 5 for sure because of how much he carried this team. Maybe even top 3 if you want to get a little bit crazy. Probably won't happen. You also see Vladdy there despite his bad finish to the year. Folks, this team is special. It truly is. And Geek Madison had a good excerpt from his article here. And feel free to pause and read it. But it basically goes on to say that the Blue Jays pulled off the type of season that every team in baseball arrives for spring training whispering about each year as fresh bats are pulled from their plastic sleeves and cleats crunch on the pavement for the first time. Managers and executives talk about seasons like this. They talk about seasons where internal improvements steal a few more wins than everyone else expects. They talk about bounce back seasons from aging stars. They talk about chemistry and culture, 2 fluff words that rarely mean much a few weeks into the season. They talk about it all, and they talk about all of the ways, in which this could be their year. The Blue Jays just did it. They've done it all. Shout out to Keegan Matheson for some great writing. They did. They've done it all. They won it all as it pertains to regular season. Go out, win it all in the playoffs. Do it in the back of George Springer. Do it in the back of Bichette. Do it in the back of every single player. Miles Fry, everyone who contributed this year. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.